'cause my only friend is gone away.
That's Malice K from his new album Avanti. We caught up with the Washington State native in his new home of Brooklyn, New York. With the album due any day, we got a glimpse of the sculpture that inspired the album art, and we asked about Alex's alternative high school, also called Avanti.
The day would be split up into two different sessions. So you'd have the AM classes and the PM classes. So you'd have, I think like you just have three classes in a row
Right.
a day. And so I chose the PM classes. So I'd sleep in and,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was a great model for schooling and they're just very encouraging over there. I mean, I didn't graduate, but it was fine. Like, they were still great,
Right.
wasn't their fault.
Yeah, that's fine. And that was up in Washington State, was it?
Yeah, Olympia, Washington.
Okay. So you kind of have traveled from Olympia to LA to Brooklyn now. And so how are you finding that transition?
I don't know. It feels like it's so hard to put into words. I feel like I'm being challenged constantly every day in ways that like make it really hard it's really hard to gauge my experience. I mean, it feels like every day is pretty new and I'm doing things that are really challenging all the time. So I'm just kind of constantly changing and it's kind of hard to know exactly what's going on. Like, I'm very busy and I'm kind of, yeah, I don't know. I feel, yeah, pretty, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't have too strong of an opinion.
Okay. So my understanding is that what got you to New York was you were being courted by some record labels, and that's what got you there. But then you ended up signing with Jaguar. So what was the courting process like for you? How did you deal with that?
Well, I was living in LA and I went to Washington to grab my car and I was going to drive back, but some things kind of fell through over there. So with my housing situation, and then I get a phone call from New York, a label, and they wanted me to come out here to just meet them. And they ended up just spending like a ton of money on me. They put me up in like this hotel and had these cars pick me up from the airport and all this. They're really trying to, you know, impress me and stuff, which I mean, I didn't really realize it at the time, but that's pretty uncommon for
Right. Yeah.
somebody if they don't even know if they're signing you to
Especially
spend
these
that much
days.
money on. It was, yeah, they spent. Yeah, it was really pretty wild and like I kind of just ended up not really having a good feeling about it. And I think initially them spending that much money on me made me not feel that secure because I'm like, well, this is kind of like a rug that can be pulled out under me at any time. And,
Right.
I'm not gonna have the money to pay for this hotel. I'm like,
Yeah. There's got to be a catch.
I just had like a guitar. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it was very much like a there's more where this came from kind of thing. And then when I met the guy, I just kind of had I just didn't feel well.
Right.
I think pretty immediately, and it just I would be asking. I didn't know anything, and I didn't have anybody representing me, and I wasn't even living anywhere, and I'm just here on a one-way ticket, and like don't know that much about the industry, and I just only have my own kind of paranoia or
Gotcha.
instincts to go on. Then I would be asking questions about how things worked, and the guy would kind of answer in analogies and stuff like, "Well, think of it like a car."
Yeah. Right. No, I want to think of it like a record label.
Exactly. That's what I said, and I was just, but I'd met some people, and like, there were other people that were kind of looking at me, so I kind of had some options, and it kind of helped me be confident in the decisions I was making. And so uh I don't know, yeah, I was like staying on the couch of the A&R guy's place
Right.
because I was like, no more hotels,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and I'm just staying at this guy's couch, and I'm talking to other labels, and I think that they know that I'm doing that, and they got pretty impatient with me, and uh we got in like a big fight, and it ended up falling through. But uh yeah, I ended up just going with somebody else. I went with the Orchard, and
Right.
but yeah, it was really fucking crazy because and by the time that I had gone through, I'd already been living here for like 5 months or so.
Yep.
I'm just here,
Yeah. You're
and
just
I turned down the one thing that was the reason for me even coming here, and so I don't know, I was just being wild, just out in the street stuff,
Yep.
and then
All righty.
but
Well, you're hanging in there. So
that's pretty much how that went down.
so you're not a New Yorker yet.
I mean, I definitely am. I mean, I earned my stripes. I showed up on a one-way ticket, and I got a record deal, and then
Yep.
I got a second record deal. Like, so
Not
I
bad.
don't know. I guess I'm a New Yorker now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Good.
Still
Excellent.
here. So.
So the record's out on the 23rd, I think it is. So tell me how this group of tracks, songs, whatever, came together to become a record for you, because they don't seem all of one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just life comes first.
Right.
There's nothing to write about. So the songs were just kind of written at different periods of mm, the emotional journey of the last 2 years. So I try to write a song every day. Most of the time, nothing turns into a song, but every once in a while, you can define something in your life, and it just clicks, and it's like, you know and I don't know, yeah, so that's basically it, just writing one song at a time, and hoping that I can write another song. And then I was able to do it 12 times, and I was like, oh, that's album.
There you go.
So
Is that how you think of
it
yourself as
wasn't
a
really
songwriter? Is that how you kind of mentally describe yourself?
pretty much. I mean, you know I would like for music to come from other music that I've made, but it's kind of, you end up kind of just copying yourself, or maybe viewing it too much as a product rather than it's something personal
Uh-huh.
to you. I would love to write, a song that defines my life every day, but I don't really know what's going on most of the time, and like the idea of myself is always changing, and a lot of times it's not even that accurate, so.
Okay. And what would you say is, do you point out as the most personal song out of the ones that are on this record?
Hmm. I think Radio is maybe the most personal song for me, on the record.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all of them were like personal, but I think Radio for me was something that defined a relationship that I have to myself in a pretty big way. And I think it could apply to myself at any period of my life.
Radio plays my favorite song. My life's a cap, one drop away from spilling over. Radio plays my favorite song, and I almost forgot that it was over. I'm trying hard to be someone else, but
And in radio, you kind of refer to playing your favorite songs. And do you have a favorite song, or are you just kind of listening in the radio to something that clicks?
I don't really know. I mean, I don't really know. I wasn't really thinking of a song when I played that. I think I was just playing that riff and I kept saying radio over and
Right.
over again was like, so I just kind of saw where that went
Right.
and then came up with that line. Everything that like follows up after that is more, yeah, like personal and stuff. I wasn't actually listening to a song and I don't really have a favorite song.
Okay.
I do love the radio, but
Ah, how's the radio in New York?
kind of sucks. I mean, it's like, but it's not really New York. I mean, it's better here than other places because they have some pretty weird channels you can tune into. But that's usually on the weekend. Like it's people have to pay for so much advertising to compete with
Right.
everything else. So it's like it's mostly ads and it can be kind of
It's annoying.
uh that great. But on a Friday night you can get some pretty weird stuff.
Have you heard your own stuff on the radio?
No, I haven't. I mean, uh no one's ever really given me a heads up that I'm gonna be on the radio or anything. I think I have been on some radio stuff. I was on like BBC a little bit ago, but
That's pretty
that
cool.
wasn't, it was like a version of being on the radio. It was like I was a they streamed it online on their online radio. So I
Right.
don't know, which is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
as
gotcha. Yeah, there's all sorts of, and I see you made a few videos. I like the one for the old house. It seems pretty
oh
interesting.
yeah.
I don't know what you can tell me about the video or the song or whatever you care to reveal about anything.
Just meet me at the old house. We can work it out somehow. Even though all of these changes turn our lives to stranger days, you know I ain't been right since I went out chasing these dreams made out of sand that are falling out through my hand. And it's no sleight of hand that when I fall asleep tonight, in my dreams I find I'm at the old house.
Yeah, it was just like I was in this artist collective for a long time, Death Proof, and
Right.
the videographers for that, they've been working with them for a long time, and I love what they do, and so I just flew out to LA and we made the video, and they had different locations in mind, and we went to this abandoned house, and like that old guy that was there was just, he was living in one of the abandoned houses. There's like a bunch of people living in them, which we didn't know, but then we started seeing people come out of the doors and we're like, oh sorry, like, but yeah, he was just walking by with like a cup of noodles and we're like, hey, you want to
Walking by with a couple of
be in the
noodles.
video? Yeah, he was walking on the side of the high where he's like, hey, like, and like he was in the video with me for a while and he was like hanging out, and then we went to the ATM so we could pay the guy just
Right.
for his time, whatever. And uh we were like, can you wait right here? We'll be right back. But he's like, no, just come around the back. Like I live in that house over there.
Okay.
And just we're like, okay. And so we went and like came back and knocked at the door, and it was just some pretty crazy guy like opened the door, and it was just a bunch of people living in there.
Right.
And I didn't want to see that I was holding money, so I was just kind of like, hey, where's that old guy with the suit? And he came to the door and I gave him the money like all on the down low because I don't
Gotcha.
want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty
But yeah,
cool.
that's how it went down. But yeah, that guy. Yeah, it was a really, yeah, he was cool.
Yeah,
He's a nice
excellent.
guy.
And the album cover is pretty interesting. You got like this heart-covered pin cushion thingy going on there. Where did that originate?
So it's
Oh,
like,
it is. Yeah, there it is. Jesus.
yeah, like yeah, I had an illustration of this and it was just kind of stuck in my head for a while. And this is like made out of like foam.
Right.
I put like 3 foam cubes, like one here on the bottom and then two up
Yeah.
here. And then I whittled them into the shape of the heart and got some red sweaters from the thrift store and glued them to it and then stuck all the stuff in there.
So where
But
do you keep it in your apartment? Is it on the wall or on
uh
display?
well, I'm in my girlfriend's apartment right now, but there's a little corner for it that's over there.
Nice one. Very cool.
It blends in, it looks cool.
So the record's out on the 23rd. What do you got planned for the day? Anything exciting?
Well, I'm gonna be in Europe at the
Ooh,
time, so it's
all
gonna be
right.
coming out while I'm away. So, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just mostly gonna come out digitally, I guess, and then I'll start doing stuff when I
Right.
get back to New York. But I'm doing a album listening party tomorrow night.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Um, that's cool. Yeah, we got this movie theater, and we're gonna project some music videos and play the album and sell some vinyls and stuff, and that'll
Cool.
be the kind of official
Yeah,
debut.
gotcha.
And then I fly out to Europe the
Are you
next day.
doing
So
are you doing
it's
shows out there?
yeah, doing a ton of shows out there. It's like my first kind of actual tour run. It's gonna be pretty brutal, but you know,
Are
uh,
do you have a band or is it solo or what's the show going to be like?
yeah, we got a band. Like they play in like they have some of their own bands and a lot of other people's stuff, but they're just yeah, they're dudes that uh, yeah, they're great.
Okay,
We
that's
we
cool.
just got together like a few months ago. So we're still getting to know each other and stuff, but they're great guys, and
When you have to teach somebody your
all
songs
pretty down
and
to.
the songs, especially that are on the record, what kind of information do you need to impart upon the folks who are helping you make this music live?
Maybe just don't overthink it. Like all the parts are pretty simple, and for a lot of the songs, I'll write everything for it, and I won't really play that complicated of things. It'll just be the space in which I feel it will kind of make it what it is. I'll use the space more than I'll
Gotcha.
be playing something. So sometimes people will kind of maybe add an extra lick or add a little thing to it to spice it up, but it's kind of I'll be like, just play it like an AC/DC song, like super basic,
Right?
but just with a lot of feet. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Very cool.
Yeah,
Sounds like fun.
I
Are you
guess.
enjoying yourself?
Yeah,
You having fun?
sometimes
Sometimes.
sometimes when I can have a moment where I'm looking at myself as somebody else and being like, wow, that's cool. But
Right.
a lot of the time feel pretty stressed out, and it just matters a lot to me, and it's scary, and
Sure.
it creates a very uncertain future for myself. And so
Right.
I'll have moments of not having any of that, and I see it for what it is and I feel proud of myself. But but then there's something to do immediately after that feeling is over. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's my job.
Hopefully you got a good team behind you. You made that decision to go with the folks that you have.
uh yeah, they really are putting me to work for sure. I mean, yeah, they're doing a great job, and it's like yeah, I have amazing managers, and I have a really great, pretty solid small network of people, and uh yeah, it's great, and they are so good to the point where it's annoying, like which is
That's all right.
I've been in different situations with management stuff where I'm annoying them more than they're
Right.
annoying me, and it's kind of be that way. It should be the opposite, like because I you know I get a slip, I gotta be like a brat or whatever, like
Yeah. Well,
because
hopefully you'll
like my
find the
manager will be like, "Oh,
equilibrium will even itself out, and you'll be
yeah,
be
like,
where it
'cause,
needs to
yeah,
be.
my managers will be making my dreams come true, and I'll just be like, dude, like leave me alone, like I'm trying to, and it's supposed to be like that, like, and uh the way it was before, where I'm like, please help me, please God help me, or whatever. That was not the way. It's
Yeah.
better this way.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.